Hi, and welcome to this video about how workshop software can help your business get to the next level. Over the next few minutes, what you're going to see are just some of the features of workshop software and how it can help you to get to where you want to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump straight into the application and I'm going to show you some of the cool features of workshop software and how it can help your business. So when we first log into workshop software, the thing that we're greeted with is the dashboard. This is a really cool place to see exactly what's going on with your business. So you got things like today's, week's, and month's sales. You can even click on it, for example, and it'll show you a report of the drill down of that information. You can click on any of these little widgets here, so you can see bookings, you can see when service renewals, all of these sorts of things. It gives you great information about what's going on in your business. If we scroll down a little bit, you've got your recent activity, including transactions and jobs in progress, and you can also see recently completed invoices. So that's a really cool way of going and seeing what was done just now or just recently. You can double click on them and open them if you want. You could reprint them, you could email them again to clients, those sorts of things, which is really cool. Scrolling down a bit further, there's this awesome analysis tab which shows you in a graphical representation of your sales, cost and profit, but there are also, if you click this button, a whole heap of other reports in here as well, and you can get a different looking chart also. So the dashboard is a really great way for you to get all that key information for your business automatically. So when you first get workshop software, one of the things you want to know is how to use it. We've put a lot of time and effort into making sure that we've got a heap of resources that you can understand and get to know what you need to know very easily and very quickly. So there's a couple of really cool things I want to show you. First of all is a quick start training. So this quick start training is the place where you want to go, where you can go and watch a whole heap of videos. And so there's an overview, there's a getting set up with your company profile, the bookings management, the supplier, and the product and service management. This is a really cool place to start. Watch a video. They would last from about 5 minutes to 15 minutes is the longest one. Very well worth watching those quick start guides. If we just jump back into workshop software, the other really cool thing is this question mark. And I want to show you these couple of things up the top here. The help guide and resources is a really great place for you to go and find documents and information about how to do certain things. So you'll see here there's about 150 or more than 150 guides on all sorts of different things. So if you wanted to know how to do an invoice, for example, just type in the search, how to create a customer invoice, click on it, and you'll see that there's some really easy to read with often all of these documents have got lots of pictures that are very clear and concise, and it's super simple for you to get up and running. And of course, we've got a whole team that can help you out. So you can simply send an email to support@workshopsoftware.com. One of our technicians will be in touch with you and answer any questions that you might have and solve any potential questions. So you're backed by an organization that really can look after you. So let's now jump into actually doing stuff in the application itself. First up, let's have a look at how to search. This is really, really cool. So what I want to show you is if I type in ABC, what this is going to do is this is going to search right across the whole system. So it'll search things like customers, suppliers, products, vehicles, mechanics, everything in the system, even transactions, and I'll show you that in a second. So you can see here that I've got ABC and some customers have come up, but some vehicles have come up as well because it searches everywhere. If I be a little bit more specific and I type in, say, ABC1, the only thing that comes up is vehicles, because that's what is applicable to this particular search. You'll notice too that there's these icons when you search. If you just hover over them, you can see what they do. This one creates a booking, this one creates an invoice, send an SMS, or open up their latest invoice. Let's also have a look. So say for argument's sake, I wanted to search for job number 1054. Here is this job. I can click on it, open it up, and for example, if I wanted to reprint it for argument's sake, I can go and print it or email it off to the customer, that sort of thing. It's super, super simple to do. So this search at the top here is a really powerful way for you to get the information that you want to get. Okay, let's jump straight in and do a transaction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in ABC1, which is the vehicle that I want to do, and I'm going to go off and do a booking for this particular vehicle. So if I click on the booking icon, simply jumps in here. I can type in service, for example, and I'm going to go and do a service for this particular customer, and I'm going to go and save this job. So what this has now done is has put this into the booking diary. So if we jump into the booking diary, what you're going to see here is you're going to see this really cool monthly view. So this gives you a look at every single day for the current month. And what you'll notice is on a day-by-day basis, these particular little round icons here are each individual mechanic. And it also shows you how booked up they are. So you can see that this guy is these two guys are pretty full, whereas this guy's only half full, and this guy hasn't got anything. So you get a really good indication as to who's got what on any particular day. And you can even click on the day as well, and you can get it drilled down into a daily view, and it shows you each mechanic and the actual times that you've booked. The other thing that you can do is you don't even have to allocate times to mechanics specifically if you don't want to. Not every workshop wants to operate that way. You've got the option of a calendar, or you've got the option of a list. So the list gives you this kind of information so you can actually see the transaction by transaction basis of exactly what's going on. So this here was the one that we created just earlier on. If I jump back into the calendar view, what I can do is this service that I created before, I can grab it and I can drag and drop it into a particular time. So I'm going to say that Tony is going to start this job at 9:30 in the morning. So that's now has been allocated to him. So you can see how simple this is. All you need to do, you can even drag this and move it over to someone else, or move it to a different time or something like that if you need to move things around. It is super, super simple to do. So you can also get a weekly view, so you get a good grasp of what's going on for the week, so you can see individual mechanics and how booked up you are. So if you've got someone on the phone and you want to book something in, you can see where your times are. So going back to where we are on a day basis, you can get that calendar or a list view, and then we can do things like we can go and open up this particular transaction, which is really cool and really easy. So let's say now the guy's been booked in, I can click on that and I can, let's say the day's come and the guys come in. So I can go and start job, and I can click on start this job, and this now goes and puts it into the job center and makes it a particular job in our workshop. Now, just for complete clarity, you don't even need to do a booking if you don't want to. And if you don't want to have bookings in the system, that's absolutely fine. You can just do jobs if you want. It's entirely up to you. That's how flexible workshop software is. You can use it all sorts of different ways, and have it applicable to the way that your business operates. So now I've got this particular job, I can do things like print off a job card. So this job card will, for example, have the customer details, the new odometer or hour reading if you're working on something that has hours. You've got all the details of the vehicle. You've got information about what's going to be done. And in this case, there's some comments on this for the particular service that's done. If we scroll down a little bit further, you can see that there's a barcode. That's for actually using the phone app, so you can actually scan the barcode to find the actual job, which is really, really cool. So you can see that that's a job card that's been created. It's really simple, very quick, very easy to create a job card, and away you go. So once we've done that, we can just save it, and that's a job now is work in progress. So in the job center, we can see that here is this work that we've got here. So, and the job center is the great place where you can go and see what's going on in your workshop. So you've got all of your jobs, you've got different statuses, and you've got different status comments. So you can put a comment on a job if you want. And you can also see, I want to say for argument's sake, I only want to see jobs that are complete. So these are jobs that are finished, but you haven't actually notified the client. So you've got all these different statuses, which is a really cool way of managing your jobs. This is an area of the system that you're going to be in all the time, or the workshop manager or the workshop foreman is going to be in here all the time, because this is where you can see what's going on. You can double click on a transaction and open it up and do further work to it, that sort of thing. You can go and add additional parts, add additional labor on, all of those sorts of things. It's really, really simple to do. So the other awesome thing that you can do with workshop software is I just want to show you printing the job card again, and you might remember that this has got the barcode. What I can do is I'm going to do this and scan the barcode. Okay, so what I can do now is clock on and clock back in again as a mechanic. The other thing I can do is take a photo. So I'm doing this on my phone, right? So what I'm going to do is just take a photo, for example, of my keyboard. So I'm just going to go and take that photo. I'm going to go and take another photo of my mouse, and I'm going to say use that photo as well. So I'm just going to use a couple of photos from my phone, and what I'm going to do is just refresh this particular invoice right now, and what you're going to see is under these attachments you can actually see those two photos. See, I've literally done that in real time. This is the beauty of this being an online system. You can run this system anywhere, on any device, on an iPad, on a tablet, on a Mac, on a PC, it doesn't matter, in any sort of browser, and that's the beauty of this. I've taken that photo on my phone, on the phone app, using using Workshop Software's phone app, and you can see that those photos are there instantly. So the benefit of this is that you can use those photos for all sorts of stuff. So it might be you might want to send a message to a client because, for example, I can actually email those attachments. So I can say, okay, I can choose the ones that I want. So let's say I was going to email that particular one. I can email it off to the client or to anybody for that matter. And that might be, for example, you've ripped a gearbox apart and you can see the damage in there, for argument's sake. You can then go and send that off to the client with maybe an explanation as to why you need to spend hundreds of dollars doing a repair and how much more business are you going to get by doing that sort of thing, by sending them a photo rather than trying to explain to them over the phone, yeah, this is broken, that's broken, and that's why you need this repair is going to cost $1,000. Send them a couple of photos and it's super simple, they get it. So you can use it for that. You could use it just to report damage, for example. There's a dent in the car. You might want to take a photo and attach it. You could even use it for training. So you might have an instance where you've got something such as, something's gone wrong with a particular vehicle that's an unusual vehicle that you repair. You can actually go and, take a photo or a few photos of a particular incident and store it against that job for future reference. So the photos are truly, truly powerful, and don't underestimate how important this is to your business. So I want to show you a really important part of running your workshop right now. What I'm going to do is go into settings and go into reminders. Now, service reminders and other types of reminders are super, super important for getting the most out of your workshop. What I've found in my 25 years of experience in dealing with automotive workshops is that they either don't do this very well or they don't do it at all. And what we've done with workshop software is we've made it dead simple. It can't get any simpler than you need to do nothing. That's it. Every single day, what this will do is it will say who is due for a reminder, and it will send them an email, send them an SMS, depending on the client's preference, and it will just do that every single day for you. Think about that. That's like turning on a tap and just having people come into your workshop whenever you want them to. They're just going to come back in because you've sent them a reminder, for example, for a service. It's literally that simple. This particular system here can pay for the workshop software many, many, many times over and is the key to providing great service for your clients and getting your existing clients coming back in. It is literally as simple as saying automatically set the reminders, put in your email, put in your SMS message, and there's things, for example, like for registrations due, you got things like it sends automatic reminders for bookings. So 3 days before the booking, you want to send them an email or an SMS, that sort of thing. We also, for other countries in the world, for example, in New Zealand, we do the WOF reminders, and in other parts of the world, we also do different reminders that are required in those particular places. So this is a really, really key part of managing your workshop and making sure that your workshop is getting the business that it deserves. Okay, so a couple of other quick things that are really, really cool in workshop software is I want to show you these integrations. We integrate with a whole different types of businesses. So from our accounting partners, we've got MYOB, QuickBooks, Sage, and Xero. These integrations for the accounting system are literally super, super simple. Basically, you set them up, which is a 5-minute job, and you forget. Every time you do a transaction, it will automatically go into your accounting system, and it will come back from your accounting system as well. So it will sync things like your customers and suppliers, all your payments, receipts, invoices, purchases, all of that sort of stuff as well. We also integrate with some automotive suppliers, so Repco, Relay, and also Ashdown Ingrams and ProLink. And we integrate with MailChimp for doing your customer management. If you wanted to get a little bit more sophisticated in your CRM, you can send letters and do marketing campaigns through MailChimp. There's also heaps of business reports. So in the reports here, you can just drop down this list. Here's your workshop reports. There's lots of those. There's lots of customer reports, supplier reports, and some logs. So look, that's just a quick overview of workshop software. There's so much more I could show you. Things around purchasing, all your vehicle history, all of that sort of stuff, managing your customers, your products, doing stock takes, lots and lots of things. But remember, workshop software is super simple to use. There's heaps of help. We're here to help you. You're here to help get up and running very, very quickly by using these quick start guides, how to, using the knowledge base and all that sort of stuff. Now, all you need to do is if you go to workshopsoftware.com, click on free trial. That's all you need to do to get up and running. This literally takes about 5 minutes, if that. So you just put your details in, start your trial. It'll send you an email. It just quickly comes back with an unlock code which you enter in and you're up and running. You're literally using the full-blown system all working, all up and running in just a couple of minutes. So go and do that. I really recommend that you go and just take out a free trial and give it a go yourself. There's no obligation, nothing to pay, and simply give it a go. Really appreciate your time. Thanks a lot.